back as usual. So here is the grid then. Team Olympian on pole position. It's the number 195 JPR for hire car. Team BCW as they're known. Ted Bradbury taking the opening stint in his second Fun Cup start. Then it's GCI Racing, the reigning champions. Ian Wood starts third alongside Team Ratters Racing. That car started by Peter Ratcliffe. Team Greenheath then will come from 5th on the grid. That car will be piloted by Paul Turner, whilst EDF Motorsports number 104 car will start 6th. That car started by Gary Summers. Team Race Logic are back, and we believe they're back for the rest of the season now. David Denyer will take the opening stint in the 252 car ahead of the 212 EDF Motorsports with Autotal machine, piloted by Simon Coles. Then it's Signature Motorhomes, the 110 car of Adam Bessel, former MX5 frontrunner, starting 9th. And Team UVO Hoffman's Motorsport will start from 10th on the grid, driving duties beginning with Fabio Randaccio. Mate Club with EDF Motorsports, number 246, they will start from 11th on the grid with Matt Dawkins. And the championship leaders on total points, Team PLR Racing, number 146, that car started by Ben Pitch, will be coming from the 6th row. Then it's Team Seed Data and MJ Tech. Team Seed Data in the 214, and that is a car change. They were originally down as the 98. Andy Bennett will take the start now in the 214 ahead of MJ Tech's number 249. That car started by Will Abraham. Then it's Team Easy to Reach, number 251. That's Tom Greensall and Axiometrics with GRD Racing. They had a spin earlier on in practice, but Simon Rudd will be hoping for a cleaner start from 16th. Then it's Team 3 Motorsport starting 17th on the grid, the number 98 car, and then we will have GT Radial with Team Fueled Up Racing, and at the very back of the field, Team Viking and Ursus Capital Racing, the winners last time at Silverstone, and it's Colin Kingsnorth who will take the driving duties at the start of this one. Right then, Richard, predictions. Where's your money going if you had to try and pick a winner?
Olympian, which is not a particularly brave sticking my neck. No, I know it's, but you know, how has that worked out? And the first stint could be absolutely crucial for them. Get away, build a bit of a lead, possibly. We'll wait and see. How about yourself?
Wouldn't bet against Team Olympian. I reckon GCI Racing might have half a chance as well. You know, they've only done, it's only the third race they've done this season. They've been on the podium both times they've raced with us so far, and they are the reigning champions. Another one of those hugely experienced teams. One of those teams that was on the grid for race number 1 back at the start of 2011. And here they are, race number 100 in this fantastic championship, and they are starting 3rd on the grid in the number 1 car. Very slowly then they come to the racing here in the Fun Cup Endurance Championship. The lights go out, away they go, and it's a good start made then from the pole position by Chris Devell. But here comes Bradbury round the outside line. He's got his nose back ahead by the time they hit the braking zone into Redgate Corner, and he will get the lead in the 195 car. GCI slotted to 3rd place. There's a bit of a squeeze just behind them as they round Redgate, but they all emerge the other side, more or less, I think, in one piece with that. They're still 3 wide, actually. Greenheath, Team Ratters, and the 110 car banging doors as they head for the Graders for the first time.
Yeah, look at some sideways stuff going on there, and love the interview that Jamie was doing, saying that there's so much gravel trap around here, and well, you'll tell us how many safety cars we've had in the past, but yeah, they are going to be an invitation to these machines, aren't they?
Most definitely. That car was in the garage after everyone else had been released to the assembly area as the 214 car gets 2 wheels into the gravel at Coppice. That car was off the road in qualifying earlier on today. It rejoins this time, thankfully, with the front splitter attached, but some way...
UVO Hoffman and 195, and safety car time again.
Oh no, that is Race Logic. Race Logic off the road at the chicane. And the 252 car, is it beached? I think it's headbutted the tyre stack, hasn't it? That's a real shame then. The team that made their return, long-awaited return to the championship last time at Silverstone, almost won the race on their return to the series. But here at Donington Park, things not quite going as well. So yellow flags out at the chicane. Might just be able to get that car going again under its own steam. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, battle raging on here between Ben 5 car and a little bit adrift of them at the moment is Neil Plimmer in the PLR Racing machine. Now as they come across these 3 lap cars, does this change the dynamic? Does this give Christian Rose his opportunity to find a way through? Or does it maybe, give Craig Butterworth a chance to try and pull a bit of a gap over the championship leading car behind? At the moment, not a huge amount of change between them actually. Down the exhibition straight they will go, and GCI Racing hanging on in 4th for now.
Yes, good racing on the restart. And this is why this format's worked, hasn't it? Because you were saying about the cars, it doesn't matter about outside assistance. You're punished enough just being off. So get yourselves back on, come and rejoin the race and enjoy it. That's not an issue. Safety cars shake things up, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. I don't think I've seen safety car particularly spoil Fun Cup race since I've been watching it. So the whole thing works well.
Time then. Oh, that's the no, it's the 110 car off. Now, where is that? They're on the track still, on the exit of the old Hairpin, I think, and that is not a nice place to be sat. Let's hope the car hasn't stalled. All these are terrifying moments for the 110 team. That's Thomas Dregfer, who is still in the car, and he has not got the car fired up just yet. I think it's the old Hairpin that he has found himself stationary. Flame spits from the exhaust, trying to get the car started. But in these temperatures, Richard, this is another thing that the engines don't like. It's really not easy to get them fired back up again.
And that was absolute quality from our cameraman and director there, getting on there so quickly.
Absolutely.
Superb stuff.
Yeah,
that's not the best place to be, is it?
Double waved yellows there down at the old Hairpin. And is that car still there? Yes, it is. I don't see it moving, Richard.
That's not good, is it?
And of course, the marshals can't very well go and help because it's in the middle of the road, and we've been running now for long enough that the cars are... there we go. Never mind. If I had £1 for every time that happens, back on its way they go, and that's good news. The Signature Motorhome full strategy was for Uvio compared to Olympian, who are now up into second place, but Richard, they are 16 seconds off the lead. They were only 10 seconds off the lead before the pit stops. That tells me that they took fuel and Uvio didn't. A 1:23.9 that time for Riley Phillips in second place. That was 1.2 seconds quicker than the race leader, so that gap is already back under 15 seconds. Riley starting to get away now from MJ Tech and GCI behind, but look at this sea of traffic ahead of him that he's got to try and negotiate. This surely is about to lose Riley a little bit of time. Slips up the inside of the T3R car, sorry, T3 Motorsport car, and then gets up the inside of the 251. There's more dust and gravel being kicked up in the distance, but I think that's just someone cutting the corner a little bit rather than another gravelly excursion. But this lap perhaps is not going to be quite as impressive for Riley. His first sector was a personal best. In fact, he took about half a second in the first sector alone out of the race leader. But through the middle sector, that traffic, you have to imagine, has slowed him down just a touch.
I think you're right, yeah, still impressive. So every time you see that car, it's overtaking someone, Riley, in the mix, and it's... No disrespect to his other teammates, it's the way the traffic has fallen for him that he's had someone to pass pretty much every single lap. He's about to do another one here on the 212 car that we saw off at the end of pit lane, so that's been sorted out, whatever the issue was with the Rob Croydon car. In fact, it's not Rob Croydon, Simon Coles now, isn't it, because we're into stint 3, but that again is passed, so Riley Phillips again makes another pass while he's on camera and steams on. 14 seconds now, the gap between Fabio and Riley. So Riley's job just to try and close that down as we head towards the
round. This group of cars ahead of them are not on the same lap as them, so even if they pass them, they're not gaining any positions. Pretty sure they've rejoined in 4th place because that was the Vikings I just saw coming into shot in the background. So across the line they will go. We'll now get officially what their deficit is, 36.5 seconds. So yeah, they dropped about... what, 20 seconds, 22 seconds or so there through that. So I would hazard a guess that's about how long it takes you to transition from one end of the pit lane to the other.
Yeah.
What it was for, I don't know though. We'll have to try and, like I said, get Jamie to do some digging on that one.
So again, we get to see Riley Phillips putting lots of drivers under pressure again.
Yes, fired up, Riley Phillips, and he really is. He's just on a personal best first sector, so on his first full lap after the trip through pit lane.
Axiometrics and Olympian both had the same penalty. It was actually to do with the 110 car that was spun at the old Hairpin. It was felt that both cars got a little bit too close to it as they went past. It's just something, obviously, on safety grounds. They just wanted the cars to be a little bit further away. And down at EDF Motorsport, Matt Dawkins is in the car. We're not going to talk to him because it's a bit hot in there, but Vlad... Yeah. Hub failure, but the guys are straight on it. This will be a quick fix, won't it?
Hopefully so, yeah. It's a little bit unfortunate. Matt said he had a bit of an off and had a spin. Yeah, really unfortunate. We're doing quite well, running in the top 10. We're hoping to take advantage of the heat and hopefully some other car failures, and just happened to be us that had a failure.
Rose has got himself embedded in some traffic somewhere, but he's not lapping as quickly now as he was a little bit earlier on. GCI Racing are actually fading a little bit as well. They're 38 seconds off the lead now.
Axiometrics clear of Team Viking now, so Axiometrics just gone out of shot. Then we've got Team Olympian there in green, and so that's the 2nd place car ahead of the 5th position car, with the 4th place car ahead of the green machine, to simplify things, or maybe not.
I followed some of that.
Yeah.
So Christian Rose then down through the old hairpin. The Team Olympian car that's done a lot of winning this year so far, but can they claim the championship? That's what they really want. 3 race victories from the first 6 races this year, but 2 races where things went wrong. Anglesey and last time out at Silverstone, where very early on actually they found themselves out of contention. Now can they salvage a 4th victory of the season? If they can, valuable points scored in the championship. Very much have one eye on Uvio, because with PLR's troubles in this race, Uvio might be about to become their nearest championship rivals. 2 races still to go. Viking car tagging along with them here, still hanging on 1 lap down. Black and white warning flag for Olympian, interestingly, that'll be for track limits. 5 minutes till the end of the pit window though, so it should be all, the start of the pit window, sorry, so it should be all right. Again, you'd imagine they'll be in pretty swiftly, won't they, to try and get Riley Phillips on board. Vikings with a half-hearted little look at the inside at Redgate Corner, but Christian Rose was never going to wave them through without a fight. So Christian's pace definitely deteriorating as we get later in the day. 14.5 seconds back, but he dropped nearly a second that time to Uvio, so long run pace, isn't it, that Uvio has the big advantage on.
They've done superbly, as you say. When you're still building at this stage of the race, you can think about consolidating, and that's good, but building that lead up. But it's when you look at the 3rd place car, as you rightly mentioned a few minutes ago, that's dropping back as well. Last time I clocked it, 36 seconds back from the leader, now down to 41, or up to 41 the gap. So Uvio looking very, very good as we head slowly towards the last stop. And it will be Farkini coming. Who's the quicker out of the 2 normally? Are they both about the same?
There's an interesting question. Yeah, genuinely, really, really evenly matched. I think they are both almost identical on pace. That is Olympian in. So that's the pit stop we need to see. To the left, ideally, the green Olympian car. Are they taking fuel on that car? I don't think they were.
No, they're not.
No, they weren't, were they? Very quick dry stop. That's one of the quickest we've seen all day, Richard.
Yeah, very well drilled, out very quickly indeed, and underway, out for that stint. Remember, the gap before they come in, 18.522 seconds, so that's the benchmark that we've got to look at after Uvio come in, but the window's only just open, we won't see Uvio come in till the end. That's normally what happens. Gap back to 3rd was 47.572, so over the previous stint, the gap between 2nd and 3rd went out from 24 seconds to around about 29. So the gap from 1st to 2nd went out. The gap from 2nd to 3rd increased as well over that last stint. So it's it can still change. We've said that, but it's less likely to with the big gap as we got at the moment.
GCI have gone out of the pit lane as well, and that's a big moment for the 98 maybe. I think it is 98 down at the old hairpin. Good news is, if you go off spectacularly enough at the old hairpin, you carry enough momentum to get back out the other side of the gravel trap, and I think that's what they were able to do there. So that was really. So there is the race leader down through the old hairpin, and Fabio Randaccio will hand over to Farkini, who I saw was suited and booted and helmeted up, ready to go. But I don't imagine they'll be in for about 5 minutes or so, this team, who have led now for the last 103 laps of this race, and we've completed 136 laps, but they led before that, didn't they, on a couple of occasions? So 110, 112 of the 136 laps they've led. What a different race we've had. This team is fighting for the race win, though, and they're not really being caught here by Team Olympian. On the last 2 laps, they've been lapping within a few thousandths of a second of the chasing cars. So all of this, I think, is going to come down to how long they have to spend in the pit lane. Olympian did not have to take any fuel at that last pit stop. It was a super quick pit stop. What is going to happen when Team Uvio arrive in the pit box? We're trying to drum up the drama here, Richard. Let's see. So there go Uvio. They will leave the pit lane. There's no sign yet of Olympian at the timing line. Now they come through. So as Uvio head out of Redgate Corner, Olympian, I reckon, are somewhere in the region of 8 to 10 seconds back. So I think they're a bit closer maybe than the, what did you have them at, 18?
18, yeah.
I think they've gained something out of that.
Before the round, yeah. But then when he sweep in, he's gunning for it, isn't he? He
Absolutely.
wants to get this gap down.
Absolutely, he is not going to settle for second place. But as I've made the point a few times, second place would still be good championship points. Yes, Uvio would get a little bit closer in the championship, but Olympian would retain their points lead. And the last thing that they want from Riley is for him to push a bit too hard. He doesn't make mistakes very often, but it's always a danger, isn't it, late in the race that they could just push a bit too hard, make a bit of a mistake, tangle with a back marker maybe, or just push the car a bit too hard. The cars at this point are really starting to feel the effect of pounding round at speed for 3.5 hours. Sometimes it's better just to nurse the car home to a second place. I hope, as I'm saying this, that he doesn't do that, because we want to see a grandstand finish, but the team will be have been very much reminding him of the importance of finishing this race. Second place is theirs for the taking. Could be the better move for the championship. Through the chicane he comes then at 1:23.7 was the lap time this time around for Farkini. So he has improved his pace as well, it must be said, and a 23.6 for Riley, so a 10th quicker, but a 10th isn't enough.
12 seconds still the gap. We haven't seen as many mechanical failures as we thought.
What was that? Oh no, it's PLR! It's PLR Racing, the championship leaders, stopped at the side of the road, and out clambers Neil Plymouth. There's steam or smoke pouring from the back of the car. He's going to have a quick peek in to try and figure out what it is, but that is PLR Racing after the recovery drive of the race, Richard, cruelly denied the chance to score some good points.
Well, I did say there hadn't been any mechanical problems in this.
We both cursed them now during this race. Oh,
That's a
Neil.
shame. That's a big shame.
We complete the 146th lap of the race. 11.6 seconds now the lead for Uvio. And on that previous lap, they dropped half a second. Now, that's more like it for Riley. Half a second gained. Right, my maths isn't very good here, Richard. 21 minutes to go. They're lapping in the 1:24s-ish. How many more laps do we think they're going to squeeze in here? I say I've thrown you under the bus here because I know I can't work that out. I'll keep...
A quick sum.
And if he can take half a second a lap, it's not quite enough, is it? Because he's
not
11
enough.
seconds back.
No,
So,
I think we knew that.
yeah, no problem. I was just testing it. Just, seeing how on the ball. Uvio are getting slower. They're slipping back into the mid-24s now. Riley Phillips there, you can see him coming across the line. There's a 23.5, a 1:23.5, a personal best lap for that car. 9/10 gained, and all of a sudden, this looks like it might just be doable.
Yeah, he's really piling the pressure on, but he's got traffic now, though.
Yeah,
he's got
true.
traffic ahead of him. So let's have a look, see what Riley does. He's going to have a look down the inside. Clearly past the Ratters Racing car. They've seen him. That was nice. A little bit of a clash with the curb, so not as tight as he might have been. Nice exit. Spectacular to watch, though, isn't it? Because the guy clearly is fired up.
Fastest lap of the race,
Whee!
a new lap record for Riley Phillips, a 1:22.9, 3 hours and 45 minutes into the race. That is ridiculous. Riley Phillips is now only 8.5 seconds adrift of the race leader, but he's got back markers battling ahead of him, the 1:04 and the 14. That is not a fight for position, but they're side by side, and he's catching them at the worst possible place.
Yeah, he's got two cars he could get a toe off here as well. No, he's not going to bother about the toe. Slots down the inside, grabs two positions. Well, not two positions, but passes two cars for the price of one. 3 cars in the space of a lap, and that's why he's got the lap record.
Wow, I mean, he got a great toe down the back straight, in fairness, from the first of those back markers, Ratters Racing, but even so, that's a very, very impressive lap time, a 22.9. At this stage of the race, that is incredible. What a testament to the GT tyres as well in this heat to still be performing that well. That they allowed the race leader. He's taken 2/10 out of him in the first sector on this lap. The second sector time will come in just a few seconds. And Team Olympian break the timing beam now and are half a second quicker in the middle sector alone. This is going to be another good lap for Riley.
He really is putting it down, isn't he, at the moment? It's going to be close. And a little bit of traffic here for the race leader. So that's going to put him off the racing line. So, again, but remember what the leader's catching at the moment. This guy, our chaser, is going to come up within a few laps.
Yeah, that was Signature Motorhomes and the third place GCI Racing car going a lap down. We have only 2 cars on the lead lap, but Uvio managed to get past them both cleanly into Redgate Corner. 24.5 for the leader, 23.5 for Riley Phillips, a full second gained. But Richard's absolutely right. The more cars that Farkini can pass now, the more hurdles there will be for Riley to try and jump in order to close in on him. Clean pass looks to have been made there by Riley Phillips against the 2-on-2 car. 24.6 for the leader, a 23.3, 1.3 seconds gained even in traffic.
Wow. 5.722 seconds. Again, goes over that pit lane exit to get the sweep down through Redgate, building as much momentum to carry through the turn that he can and down towards Hollywood. These guys have done the work though out front. They've still got more traffic to deal with. Yeah, the gap is surely, Andy, surely that gap is just too big.
I don't know. If he keeps taking a second and a half out of him per lap, he'll get there, won't he? I realise that was a slightly anomalous lap there. I think a particularly good lap from Riley. Maybe a bit of traffic here delaying Farkini as he heads up through McLean's corner. That is the T3 Motorsport car, which is running in a strong 9th place, by the way, coming up to be lapped again. But yeah, this is going to be a grandstand finish, the kind of finish the Fun Cup seems to provide race after race after race. It's been a very different race, this one, from Silverstone last time out. We haven't had the lead changes every few laps. 121 laps it's been since we last had a change of leader. UVO Hoffman's Motorsport have dominated this one, but we still go into the final 10 minutes. No clue as to who is going to claim the victory. A 125 again for the leader. Second place, Riley Phillips does a 23.6. The gap is 4 seconds.
He's still going.
Let's see then. Well, in the first sector, he was 4/10 quicker than UVO, so didn't compromise him too badly.
Wow.
That's incredible, isn't it? I don't know how he does this. I really don't. We see Riley do this time after time. At the inside of the T3 Motorsport car, someone smoking the tyres. I think that was Signature Motorhomes in the background. So the next pass is going to be the important one, isn't it? He's going to catch GCI Racing, who in fairness didn't really make life too difficult for the race leaders. You would hope that they'd be equally lenient with Team Olympian. 7 minutes to go. UVO complete their 156th lap. It's a 124.7. It's a 123.7 for Riley Phillips. A purple final sector there as soon as he broke through into clean air. He's taking a second a lap. We've got 7 minutes to go. He's going to get there, but of course, we're kind of assuming he gets there, he drives past, he disappears into the distance. It's not going to be that simple, is it? Farkini's going to get his elbows out. 5 3/4 minutes to go, 2 seconds the margin, and they've cleared the GCI car.
How quickly did they do that? We were only off them for half a lap, if that.
Incredible. Riley Phillips, a man on a mission. I don't think this car's led a lap yet, has it, all day either on the grid? Oh no, that's Greenheath. That is Greenheath in the gravel at the chicane. Now, I'm absolutely certain they won't throw a safety car at this late point in the race, but that will be yellow flags at the final corner and one of the prime overtaking opportunities off the table. And they're almost together now. Here they come. The gap is academic now. He's within slipstreaming range, and Farkini knows it. Look, weaves over to the left to try and break the toe and tries to stop Riley Phillips from getting any closer. It's under a second. It's 0.75 of a second, and Riley Phillips squirms around under braking, takes another car length out of the race leader through Redgate Corner. We are 3 hours and 56 minutes into this latest round of the Fun Cup Endurance Championship, and the top 2 cars are covered by less than a second.
Andy, I genuinely did not think this was going to happen, but, you know, fair play to Riley, who was just kept on. He's dealt with the traffic, and, you know, you can't even say the traffic felt kindly to him because he's had the same traffic to deal with as the UVO Hoffman car out front, but this has been an incredible drive. And now, how difficult is he going to be to pass? He's making the move.
He's gone for it, up the inside line. Through goes Riley Phillips, but Farkini fights straight back up the inside line, gets back alongside as they climb the hill onto the grass. Goes Riley Phillips, and Farkini leads again. Fantastic racing between the two of them. I told you Farkini would get his elbows out. He is not going down without a fight.
And now we've got the straight fight, haven't we? Keep your thoughts on the track limits as well. Remember, a warning went out to the race leader, but these two guys now can have the straight fight for 3 minutes. This is a little bit like the Super Bowl, isn't it? We get to the end of the season, you have all the matches, and it all comes down to one match. And we've had 4 hours. What a superb race this has been. How is this going to pan out? You're right about that car at the chicane. That negates that, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Redgate is still a good opportunity for a lunge. Does Riley go for it? Is he close enough? He's later on the brakes, peeks to the inside line, takes the early apex, gets alongside Farkini, level at the apex he is, gives a shoulder back to Farkini, remembers that moment that they had coming out of McLean's corner, and they run door to door through Hollywood and down the Craner curve. Now, neither driver is going to lift here through the left-hander. That favours the UVO car, but then then we turn right at the old hairpin. Inside line for Riley Phillips. Team Olympian lead the way once again, but so often at Donington we see a move on the way into a corner could cost you exit speed. Can Farkini get the run up the hill and challenge again into McLean's?
Three things about that move there. As they came down the hill, there was gap between them. The gap means respect that they were giving to each other. They're still racing hard. The other thing that really came to mind was the fact that how squirrely Riley Phillips' car was. He was on the limit to make that move. That was not an easy move down there into the old hairpin.
Not at all, and of course he is now punching the hole in the air for Farkini to potentially benefit from. Down the back straight, down the main straight. We will be going through at the end of this lap, possibly onto the penultimate lap, I think. I think they'll have time for 2 more laps here. Farkini has got to try and snap back as soon as he can. Yellow flag still out here at the chicane, but he's closed in down the back straight and needs to now try and get a really good exit from the Robert chicane and force the issue into Redgate corner. Will Riley Phillips feel the need to defend? No, jinks over to the right, then back to the left, trying to break the toe, but Farkini is coming. He's closing all the time, draws level to the outside line into Redgate corner. Will he try the switchback on the exit of the turn? Tees it up beautifully. Gets on the power sooner. Is there a gap? Is there a gap? Is there a gap? No, there isn't. Riley Phillips closes the door in his face and hangs on.
Superb racing from these two, and you could see the mindset of both drivers. Riley Phillips in defence, Farkini in attack, trying everything. He's on the limit now. You can see he's trying absolutely everything to keep the car under control, but pointing in the right direction and hopefully looking for a gap.
Does not get better than this. 2 races in a row were being treated to a real thriller of a finish, although suddenly Farkini seems to have dropped back. Has he got a problem? Was it a missed gear? Maybe the car starting to overheat, having been sat right in behind Riley Phillips. All of a sudden that gap has absolutely ballooned between the two of them, and now surely Riley Phillips is less than a lap and a half from a sensational victory.
In shot, we had first, second and third. The third place car is a lap down, but still there and ready to pick up pieces. I think he's going to unlap. What is it?
He's got a problem. Is it gears again? Is he stuck in gear, I wonder?
Is it another gearbox issue?
Oh, this is heartbreak for Uvio. A lap and a half from the end of the race. The car just didn't pick up out of Coppice, did it? It's like he's stuck in gear and is handing the victory now on a plate to Team Olympian. Now the target, with 1 lap being a 4th victory of the season for Team Olympian, for Riley Phillips, Christian Rose and Chris Doval. They are less than half a lap from home now. I'll tell you what, as centenary races go, if you like, the 100th championship race for the Fun Cup Endurance Championship, this has not been a bad one. A fitting way to celebrate 100 races in what is one of the best championships in the country, and it's one of the best drivers on the grid who is going to bring the 267 car home to claim the victory. It's been a bit of an up and down second half of the season so far for Team Olympian. They've had their wins, they've had their troubles as recently as Silverstone last time, but Riley Phillips brings car 267 out of the final turn, sees the checkered flag and wins here at Donington Park in the Fun Cup Endurance Championship. Team Olympian victorious. Second place, we hope, is going to go to Uvio. There is GCI Racing, they are third. Where is Uvio? Here they come. I think, yes, that is Uvio. They're going to limp home in third place, whatever the drama was. They at least were able to salvage second place. A real shame we didn't get to see that battle run to its true conclusion, but worthy winners nonetheless in Team Olympia.
Absolutely superb, and the key there is team, isn't it? Chris Doval started things off. Then we had Christian Rose delivering some great driving as well, and Riley Phillips coming in, you know. Amazing racing. I'm thrilled. I think it's my last time with you guys for the for the season, but 2 super races that I've really enjoyed. So thanks everybody in the paddock for such great racing.
It catches up with our winners.
Yeah, I'm down here with Christian Rose from Team Olympian. We could hear Riley screaming in the car. You've done it. That's 4 out of 7.
Yeah, still sort of trying to put together how we managed it. I'm not sure if we managed it or Riley managed it, to be fair. What a drive. Fantastic.
Broke the lap record.
Did he? Of course, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, Ted was saying about it earlier. So no, honestly, he was absolutely flying. Fair play to him. What a drive. I think he had to break the lap record just to have a chance. So no, a seriously good drive by Riley.
And it was just a race to staying out of trouble. You needed this result after the disappointment from Silverstone. The championship fight is back on going into Alton, isn't it?
Massively. A lot of today was just about looking after the car. We weren't towing that often, just trying to keep the car clean and give ourselves a shot. Obviously, we managed to do it, so no, bring on Alton Park, mate.
Mate, you're allowed a beer now.
I will be. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Right, Fab, you fought to the very end. Fark's in the car now, and nevertheless, second place. Still got to be happy.
No, I'm not happy at all. I'm going to go home and have a little cry in my pillow. we pretty much led the whole race, and we've had, you know, we've probably given away, I don't know, a minute and a half in the safety cars. So to have that on the last couple of laps is pretty galling, to be honest.
So fight's on now going into Alton.
Yeah, the fight's always on. And to be fair, like, Riley was flying in that last stint. Really impressive to watch. They did a great job. But yeah, we'll take it to them in Alton, no doubt about it.
All right, congratulations. Thanks a lot, Fab. And third place was at GCI. We've got Ian Wood down here because Craig Butterworth was in the car. And it's, of course, your final race of 2023. Nice way to end your campaign with the #1 on the car with a podium.
Yeah, well, we're going to miss the #1. It's been a good. It's been good. I think we've second, third, fourth in the last few in our three sort of cameo appearance. So yeah, it's been good. But this has been a tough, hot race.
Yeah, how's it been for you guys? I mean, we heard temperatures about 50 degrees in the car. It's not nice, is it?
No, it's just, and also there's just a lot of traffic and a lot of just chaos. So, but yeah, no, delighted with third. It's great.
All right, congratulations. Let you go down and celebrate with Craig. And that was another fantastic 4-hour thriller from the Fun Cup Endurance Championship. Round 7 here at Donington Park. Next up, at the end of October, will be a double-header meeting, a 1-hour sprint and a 3-hour feature to round off our 2023 adventure. From down here in the pit lane, I've been Jamie Peters-Ennis, and it's good night from me, and we'll see you at Alton Park.